This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
Like, yeah. I'm just in this for the clicks. I don't want to fight aliens.
Welcome to the show. All right, we have a guest today. Guest, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Hi guys, I'm David Gifford.
You use full government name. That's bold. I love it.
I don't know.
No, you're good. It's so funny because the guests we have on the show vary from I don't care. I'm just going to share my name because it doesn't matter. And then on the other side of like, I will go by Red. It's obviously not Red's name, but he goes by Red. And so he's like, I don't want my name on anything associated with this. Like, good deal.
That's a choice.
But it is too funny because on my end of things, because being a pastor, missionary, all the different titles I have now, my name is out there everywhere, so I don't care. Like I don't care. But I also understand some people don't want their name out there. It's fine. David, tell us about yourself, man. What do you do?
Well, I just finished my degree in strength and conditioning, and I'm primarily a power lifter, and I do offer coaching services for that, among other things. And I work at Walmart. It's pretty boring right now, but it's going places. We're going to get somewhere with that.
So
looking at some different CS jobs.
You offer
of that nature. So
you offer training. Is that what you said?
Yeah, powerlifting.
How would they get in touch with you if they wanted to be trained?
The easiest way to do that is message me on TikTok. I believe it's at David Gifford 7.
Follow his, even if you don't want him to train you, follow his content. He posts great content.
If you enjoy seeing people move heavy objects like I do,
very heavy objects,
it's rare. Okay, I just gotta
be headed to Black Hills Strongest Man on October 17th.
Yeah, man,
that'll be a fun one.
I just gotta say it's pretty rare that I have as many people who are as much stronger than me as close to this. I have a few friends that are a lot stronger than me, and I'm not a weak person. But this is up there for like the strongest room that I sit in.
What's your bench at these days, Phil?
I haven't done just bench in forever. When we were hitting it hard for a while there, I was just doing dumbbells. I got up to they do 90 for 8.
Yeah,
I think
right around there.
See, we need to get you under a barbell. Man.
I need to get back in. When is back open back up?
As soon as school starts, basically.
Okay, so like what, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
sick.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we
part of the because I need somebody to lift with.
Yeah. For real. Part of the reason part of the reason we had gone to dumbbells was because I was having shoulder. Mm-hmm. Same reason I had originally quit benching. I was having that problem again, and so I wasn't having the issue with dumbbells. And I was like, okay, I can strengthen these muscles up and then go back and do lightweight with barbells. And so eventually, this summer I've been working myself back under the barbell without the injury issues. So. Yeah, once we start lifting again, we'll have to start doing barbell.
Well, most of that pain you were getting was in the shoulder, right?
Yeah, it's a residual pain that I had got from when I was doing real heavy weights.
Have you ever considered benching equipped to fix that?
I have, and that's probably my next. Once I start getting back under bench, doing it doing barbell again, I'm planning on once I start getting back up to reasonable weights at any level, I'm going to start putting gear on.
I've seen you produce a fair bit of content on TikTok. Like I see it fairly regular on my feed. Do you watch other people at all, or do you just post your stuff and get on with your day?
I watch quite a bit of other fitness.
Who's your favorite
TikToks.
like other lifter?
Other lifter?
Yeah, I'm just curious because I see quite a few of them.
So in general, my favorite other like powerlifting related person in the Panhandle is Tim Swanson down at the warehouse. He's not on TikTok, but he's great.
Gotcha.
If you don't know him, you need to know him. He's a great guy. He's the one that organized the whole powerlifting meet down there. He's been doing a lot with powerlifting the Panhandle, and it's a big deal. Nice. Aside from that, probably one of my favorite lifters to watch would have to be, because most of what I watch is actually just coaching content.
Okay,
gotcha. So Ben with Big Benches has some really good stuff out there. I actually did buy some programming from them so I could learn more.
Gotcha.
Because no matter how good you are at something, and especially with coaching, there's always another person that knows another movement.
Right, for sure.
And Tanner will attest that. In the gym, there's always one more person that knows one more thing than you. So
that is probably the most important attitude to grow in anything.
My rule of thumb was always, if you're stronger than me, you've been lifting longer than me, healthier, or you're like bigger than me, I will listen to your advice no matter what. Yeah. And one of the best people in our gym that I listen to the most is Terry. I won't share his full government name just in case he doesn't want it, but
Terry.
But he's been lifting forever and he doesn't really have injuries, and so I'm like, longevity. I like that. But anyway, so it's not even always about, like, I learned the hard way. It's not always just about lifting heavy. Lifting so you can have longevity is a big deal, because I had to take 2 years off without touching a weight for my shoulder and elbow pain to go away to get back in the weight.
Sucks, yeah.
We have some OG monsters hit the pack.
Yeah,
there are some dudes in there.
Yeah,
like
there's a few other beefs.
Yeah. There's some dudes in there that have been lifting for like 50 years.
In terms of longevity, one of the people in the fitness community that's kind of at the front of that right now is actually Mitchell Hooper, the most recent World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
And he has put out some great content about longevity, and he also has some really affordable programs. I'm talking, $20, $30 for
that's not
a
bad at all. Yeah.
6 months of programming, basically.
That's awesome.
So
I have to check him out.
It's definitely worth looking at.
Yeah.
He does a lot with how strongman type exercises affect longevity biomarkers in the long term. And that's actually some very interesting research. As far as that's concerned.
That is interesting.
It's crazy what you can do, like what people can do with their bodies, man.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking about like what Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw have done, like going from the strongman side of things, where it's like you just get the weight, like whatever you got to do, and like it's not the most glamorous look as far as body stuff. Like it looks rough. And then for both of them to like turn around and, Eddie's just been getting shredded, and then Brian's been getting pretty jacked, and then also doing the arm wrestling stuff. It's just
Brian
they both did
MMA
like
40 pounds too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
like
insane.
for their bodies to come
absolutely.
back to what they are from where they were. It's just it's holy
wild.
smoke, bro.
I love when Brian Shaw is around the bodybuilders.
Yeah,
because he just midget. They just look like little people, man. He's just the one where it's like the heavy breathing is like and then it spans over to Brian, and he's like twice as tall as the 212s or whatever.
Yeah.
It doubles them in height. It's so funny.
To be fair, swear he's bigger in person too. It's terrible.
Oh yeah, he's huge.
To be fair, there's not very many people that won't look small next to Brian Shaw, but there's levels.
Yeah, he grew up right down the road from my aunt in same town in Brighton.
Yeah.
And but personality wise, I can attest that he is 100% as lovable in real life behind the scenes as he is like in front of the camera. He's just like good old like small town like farm boy attitude and stuff, because grew up on a ranch. Yeah, I've heard that he's just like 100% that. That's so cool. But yeah.
Days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet he the maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
It's time.
Those
I
pro
need-
strongmen
it's
are
time.
some of the nicest people you were ever
yeah,
meet.
because it's not a glamorous field like compared to. But anyway, you're good.
No, I just went earlier than I meant to.
No, you're good.
That was a soft one.
Today we're drinking David's favorite. And you know, it is funny. I will admit, since you already shared your name, it is hard for me to call you David. You're Gifford.
I can't.
Yeah.
You're Gifford to me.
I can't do
And
it.
so I can't call you. I'm just going to call you
Once-
Gifford. Since
once-
you did
once
it,
a
I was like,
name-
I'm going to just call him down. But I was literally practicing in my head. David. And now, no, it's
No, you're
Gifford.
good.
You're
once,
Gifford.
once a name is assigned to someone in my head, it's that name, period. I don't know if he wants me to share it. You can edit it out if not. But Seabass,
Oh, yeah.
I can't not call him Seabass.
Yeah.
That's not his name.
Yep.
But it's
Well, it's
just
like,
what I call him.
John Cryle. It's John Cryle, not John.
Yeah.
You can't call him John. You can't call him Cryle. It's John Cryle. It is both names combined. But
every time.
Every time. You
That's
have
just
to.
how it
Yeah.
See, my-
registers in your
Gifford.
brain the
Yep.
whole time.
My
Yeah.
brain doesn't do the lengthen it thing ever. Like I can't do a full name. I will shorten everyone's name to the most shortened and convenient form in my brain.
That's funny.
Period. Every time. Doesn't matter.
I'm honestly kind of amazed you haven't called me GIF the whole time, but
GIF.
it's right there.
It
And we
is
could-
right there, and
almost every kid I've ever coached calls me that. So
GIF. That is a good nickname.
it's
But Gifford is stuck.
Yeah.
It's stuck in my brain.
yeah.
But shout out to your favorite energy drink. It is your favorite brand of energy drink.
oh, absolutely.
Is Gorilla Mind. He loves it for the nootropics.
We were rocking this pretty hard for a little bit early on.
Yeah. I do really like Gorilla Mind.
Their flavor's really good.
They're very heavy in the nootropics.
Yeah.
Compared to because we just recently drank the Cranium, they err on the side of like, I want heavy sweet flavor and less of the nootropics, and Gorilla Mind is we're putting as many nootropics in it as possible and still make it taste.
Well, it's not as many as
Tastes
possible.
good.
It's just the
Well,
actual clinical
within-
efficacious dose
with-
because they actually paid attention to the science.
Putting the correct amount in so that we don't care about the taste, we'll just put it in it. Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I meant. It is pretty good. We haven't had it in a while, and
No,
it's
their,
good.
Their flavor is really good. It's just the nootropics have that taste to them.
They do.
And it's just there. Like it's not like it's bad.
No,
just
it is, but it is definitely a flavor.
Yeah, you definitely notice it more than you do in Cranium.
Tastes.
I don't know. I would say their new root beer flavor massive.
I haven't tried that
honestly,
one.
but
Yeah.
good luck getting it. Yeah, good luck getting it. You can't get it.
I haven't
I hate
tried.
that.
Terrible.
I haven't tried
hate when that's-
the
Constantly sold out because it's so good.
dude the main flavors. I want to try the root beer. I still haven't tried the Swedish Fish of theirs yet.
It's good.
I want to try that because the Swedish Fish Ghost was my favorite.
I was gonna say the
I wanna
Ghost
try
Fish
that.
Fish was really good.
And then Ghost, the sour strips. I haven't tried that one. I wanted to
Okay.
try. And then they've got a root beer coming out. I want to try too. I want to do a side by side. Excuse me. The Gorilla Mind versus the Ghost flavor. See which one tastes the best.
We
And
should
if they
do a
even taste
taste
remotely
test.
similar, then Gorilla Mind wins because Gorilla Mind has to overcome the nootropic.
We
flavor.
should do the blind test thing where like
would
you
be
put this
awesome.
stuff under the box and you just
Dude,
do that.
we could do
would
that
be
for
fun.
a Patreon episode.
We should do that.
We could do video for it on Patreon. I've been toying with the idea of getting used to video for the Patreon. So that way, if I don't have time to edit the video, it's like whoop-de-doo.
Right.
But but anyway, I've thought about a few different things of just getting myself used to the
we'll have to
program.
talk- we'll have to talk
so that I
about
can get it down
ideas for that.
faster. But
I like skits and bits and stuff like that. I love that kind of content.
I do too.
So
I mean, we
down-
started
I'm
the
down to
show
mess
off
with that.
with a spider versus a earwig fight, and they just refused to fight each other. And then we
such a
released
fever
them.
dream moment in my brain.
Oh gosh!
I don't know what that was.
How much of the podcast have you listened to?
Lately, not as much.
Yeah.
Early on, all of it.
I'd say early on, you were one
Same.
of our go-tos.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've not been listening as much lately. It's like,
Well, I mean, career-wise, you're in a different place too with where you were working when you first started listening, right? Because weren't you?
No, I'm still at Walmart.
I thought you started. I thought you were at this.
I started listening when I was at the school, but
Yeah.
I still listen to podcasts.
Oh,
work,
okay.
So.
Gotcha. Oh, so you just don't listen anymore.
I think
I'm listening to Dave Tate's Table Talk. It's more interesting. I want to learn how to move heavier things. I'm not strong enough yet.
No, I'm completely joking.
I may get strong someday. We'll see.
No, because like I was a big, like, I never missed an episode of like Ninjas or Butterflies Below Your Creatures, a lot of those like that. And I can't tell you the last episode I listened to either one of them. Just seasons, man. We were talking about it. It's like, but eventually I'll get to the point where I'm back into those podcasts, and then I'll binge them for 6 months and catch up.
Yeah,
but,
we were just talking about this. I was listening to the Unsubscribe guys like borderline religiously for a long time. Like it was every time it came out, I listened to the whole thing as soon as I could, and then I missed a couple of weeks, and I just abandoned it completely. I haven't listened to an episode in like a year.
Yep,
That's about right. Yeah,
that's about
just,
right,
yeah.
It just comes and goes.
Yep. Yep.
So that's how it is for me with like Critical Role. I was really into it for like an extended period of time, and it's like, meh.
Same with
Then I'll
like
pick it up for a year.
audiobooks.
Speaking of Critical
Just comes
Role,
and goes.
so you'll dig this. So on TikTok, because I'm a creator,
Yeah.
I get sent free samples and stuff. I just did 2 videos, but the 1985 games, they keep sending me free 6-packs of dice.
Oh, that's amazing.
Some of them are pretty cool. I gotta show you this. So this pack of dice, check this out, Phil. They sent a pin with it.
Oh, what?
Check it out.
Yes.
Check it out. Gifford. They send a pin and a sticker with each D&D set of dice. And they sent a pin with it, and I'm like, what are the odds that they sent that
Biblically
pin?
Accurate goblin. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
They had to have seen, because
has to be
they had
intentional.
to have saw that and then was like, oh, we have to get a. But their packs are genuinely random.
Crazy. That's awesome.
Their packs are actually like sealed, so I don't know if they have them. Like, and they put them in the packs and then seal them there, or what?
Or
but
maybe
like,
some did one pack that way just to get
just to make sure it was in there. But it is too. What in the world? I'm making the video and I'm like,
insane.
what is this? Did they steal it from us? Like, what are the odds? I've never heard of. I had never heard of like anything other than like biblically accurate angels.
I was gonna say, I like, it's not that I've never ever heard the term applied to anything else,
right?
But it's such an odd. Like, usually it's if like you see something that has more eyes than it's supposed to, like a mutated thing.
Yeah.
Somebody be like, oh, biblically accurate thingy, but like. That's not what that is.
Biblically accurate goblin, and it's just a
This
goblin.
is a regular goblin, yeah.
Yeah. What are the odds? I almost feel like it's like part of me is like they made that pen for me. Like
if they did, that's super cool.
If they didn't, that's just as
Weird.
cool and odd that it came. And I was like,
crazy.
it is super weird. But I think they do because my buddy, what is his name? 3 Kitty Sisters on TikTok. He's a good friend of mine. I don't remember. I think he said it's okay if I say his name, but I'm not going to just anyway. He does on TikTok. If you don't follow him. He actually produces really good content, but he does lives of him playing like classic horror games like Resident Evils and stuff like that. So he'll go through and play those games live while he's on the TikTok live, but then his like day-to-day content is just like his cats, and just like, but he puts like heavy rock music to it, and like it's actually fun. Like if I were to
check out his lives
for real, if I were to get into cat videos, that is the form
I was
of cat
thinking
videos I
about
would get
the
into.
horror
But
games.
I watch him.
Do you ever play any horror games?
Oh yeah, those are my favorite genre. I played through like all the Resident Evils, Silent Hills. Yeah.
What was the scariest one for you? What I came across this question. I can't remember if it was on Reddit or TikTok or where it was, but like, what was the scariest horror game for you?
I wouldn't say that it was the scariest, but is the one that maybe impacted me the most was probably between Resident Evil 3 and Silent Hill. Because I was young enough, I probably shouldn't have been playing them, but I had a parent who encouraged me to play things like that. So.
I cannot even watch a playthrough of either Outlast. Outlast is messed up.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil's creepy. Outlast is messed up.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Agreed. The horror genre is a totally different ball game. And the ones that I played, it was like when I played through them at the time, they were revolutionary. But
Gotcha.
now I would say they don't hold. I mean, they're
It's the
obviously
best horror game of all time.
You know, I don't know if you call it a horror game. My favorite is Subnautica.
Subnautica's a phenomenal game.
I don't know if it's I would categorize that as that because it's all about the jump scares and stuff.
Right.
So my son is like, I want to play Subnautica, and I was like,
no,
this
you
will
don't.
be. I was like, this will be funny, and I put it on creator, and in creator mode, the things don't attack you, and I was like, bro, that's not funny. I was waiting for you to get scared.
I finally bought the first one just a couple months ago because it was on Steam sale for like $8 or something, and I was like, gimme. That game's awesome. They just released the second one not long ago too.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't believe how much better it looks.
Yeah, Subnautica 2 is technically in beta. So it's only about
but it's playable now.
It's very playable.
Yeah.
And the missions go in order, and it does, by the time you finish, you do feel like you completed something, but allegedly it's only a third of the game.
Gotcha.
And the regions, there's a couple regions that they just block off with a wall that says this area under development, and you can tell that it's under development.
Right.
And
that was how the first one started. I remember watching people play the beta, and like you couldn't go to the ship.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even go to the ship at the beginning of that.
But so now but anyway, so it's supposed to be finished by 2028 is what they said. But it is playable, and it is a lot of fun, and I do highly recommend it.
I think the best horror game of all time's got to be Alien Isolation.
I don't think I've ever actually played a horror game, so I guess I'm going to have to go home and download Subnautica.
Subnautica is awesome. So if you're not
crap your pants, go play Alien Isolation. That game is insane.
If you don't want like a scary, creepy horror game, Subnautica is perfect because it's not really horror, but it is that like scary game, but it's not creepy.
It's intense.
It's not.
It's a very intense game.
You don't feel like anything in it is demonic.
Right.
It's like, oh, this is interesting. It's very sci-fi, but
I mean, Alien Isolation is very.
I was gonna say Alien Isolation, and then there was an old game. I don't know if you. I think it was called Run Like Hell. Did you ever play that game? It was an alien game as well. I'm pretty sure if it's the right game I'm thinking of.
Interesting.
And it was super sci-fi. But the aliens were like creepy and like
Dead Space.
Dead Space
is creepy.
Run Like Hell was one where I like those aliens. It like looking back, they were modeled after demons. That's the only explanation.
Yeah.
But they're aliens.
Outlast is too like spiritual. Creepy to me, like the symbolism and the like the way that they present things is just too dark for me.
Did you ever play 7 Days to Die?
Yes, with you actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. Have you played it since they?
No. That was early. That was the early game.
Cool. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
So it's basically Minecraft for.
I've literally only owned a video game system for like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
You have to remember that.
Why does that surprise me so much? Because more board games with you when you were in Chi Alpha, but yeah. The 7 Days to Die is all the sounds because these things are hooked up to it, like you can hear it comes through. That's crazy. So I always have to go through and edit the sounds out if I can. I'll forget, and it'll just this whole segment will still just be in the show, but whatever,
that's fine.
But 7 Days to Die, if you've ever played Minecraft, it's basically like adult Minecraft. So the zombies,
it's not squares.
Yeah,
thank God.
It's not squares. It's like realistic graphics, and you can build, shrink, and dig. You can dig all the way down. Like you have to collect like metal and so, like literally, it is Minecraft, but not squares and not childhood. Like yes,
yeah.
And there's a bunch of different types of zombies rather than there being like creepers, zombies, and other stuff. It's like there's just a bunch of really like
Minecraft Left 4 Dead
up. Basically, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's good. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy that game. But
a lot of people really like that game. Caught on way harder than I thought it would, because when I remember playing it, it was kind of janky-ish. Mm-hmm. Like, it was still very early in development, I think, and it was freaky because, like, it didn't feel like you had a way to learn what you needed to do. Like, the survival element was very intense because it was like, you don't know what things are or where to go or how to do stuff. And so it's just like, it's nighttime, like all the time. And so you're just trying to fend off zombies.
Yeah. And every 7th day, there's a horde that roams through. Okay. So you have to prep up your base. And at night, they're more predominant and stuff.
It was almost tower defense-y.
Kind of, yeah.
It was like
you build up your base, but meanwhile you're having to go further and further and further away from your base,
materials and
to continue because you can get to the point where you're building cement structures. Well, now you need sand.
See, that actually
you got to go to the sand biome.
It's got that strategy, like
yes,
element to
yes,
it.
Very much so.
All about that.
And eventually you do get to the point where you have to scavenge because you have to find, like, if you want to build like a motorized bike or a car, you have to go and find actual car parts and stuff. And so you're having to you have to scavenge. You can't just build up your base and then, like, you know, whatever. Like, you have to go through and check.
I remember going and raiding like an abandoned town trying to find the parts for like it was like a scooter mini bike thing.
A little mini bike. Yep. And then there's a city too, which has obviously the best resources, but more of
danger.
The bad. Yeah. It's a good game. But anyway, I don't like playing it alone. I don't play 7 days. I don't play that alone because it's like I play it during the day and with somebody else. That is.
I was gonna say, I remember it being creepy.
It's enough of a game. It's like, but again, like, totally different feel than Minecraft. But it's Minecraft. It's adult Minecraft. Anyway,
interesting.
We've been going off like crazy, but we should probably get to some current events.
Do you want to do a thing?
Oh, yeah.
David.
Okay.
Give me... I said your name. Oh, that felt weird.
Wow.
Give me an answer.
How'd that taste?
Or, no, you
guess the number.
Question.
Guess the number first.
We'll do that first.
What am I
doing? We're psychically guessing the number. We're trying to see if we can be psychic at all. It's just a thing that is a bit that we started with because somebody sent me this thing for Christmas this last year, and I was like, I don't know what to do with these. We call them our Bigfoot affirmation of the day.
It's like a fortune cookie.
Yeah,
Bigfoot.
It has a number on it, and so we decided we're trying to psychically guess a number. So he's going to send you the number psychically, and you have to receive that number and guess it correctly.
1032.
Okay, it's 1 through 53.
I was going to say.
It's 1 through 53. I have no idea.
Sorry. Okay.
Let's just go with 32 then.
32. All right. And then I'm going to ignore that. And I was going to say 7.
Okay. It's 35.
Ooh, close. Okay.
I think that's the closest guess anybody's had. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're doing a bit where he has to
did you ever watch the old timey
was it Johnny Carson?
Johnny Carson bits where he would ask the question and then open the envelope and then it was like have the
guest dude that he had on Carmack.
Yeah, or he would have the answer and then he would open it up and it had the question. So we're kind of doing kind of like that, but
right.
He's going to ask a question and then this is the answer to that question.
Okay. What do I do if I break my leg?
Give you want a shot?
Huh? You just ask a random question that has nothing.
You ask a random question.
Ooh. Nah, I'm good. Just go.
Okay. Adventure begins with one brave step.
That's definitely
that was good. That was good.
Oh, that's terrible.
That was really good.
That was a good one. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Dude, okay. So current events.
Yes.
We've got a lot of current events and we might only get to one ranch with how many current events we have. And this is fun. So, current events. The point of current events is add your input as much as you want. Okay? Like whatever you think. Just talk. So this current event infuriates me to no level. So Snapchat AI just flagged a private message as a threat and auto called the police. The girl had made a joke to a friend about shooting someone, and it auto snitched on her. This then is being sent to the police department. The police then have to treat it as a credible threat, and she did get arrested for it and was cited.
What?
And she lost her job and all kinds of stuff from it.
What? That's real.
From a private message through Snapchat. Yes. And Snapchat AI tagged it. And reading it, you can clearly tell that it is a joke. And I think eventually the charges were dropped, but she still did lose her job over it.
Dude.
And the because the nature of it was like the joke was, and frankly, Phil and I have probably made this joke 100 times before. It was something along the lines of like, man, I want to shoot everybody in here today.
Oh, I was thinking of the sewer slide jokes.
Right. Like,
how many times a month? No,
I've never found those funny personally, but that's
well, that's, I mean, I don't know.
Each their own.
First
responder, each their own. Yeah.
It is what it is.
And it's the nature of it is they basically
you're aware of it now. You're aware of it now. You'll correct. It took me a while.
Oh yeah, the early episodes you just hear bang, bang, bang. Every time you touch this thing, it's like
as soon as I set it down, I heard it. And
yep.
God.
Yeah, you're good. But so basically they're playing it off as though, okay, and this is, I think, the problem I have with it is that they're playing it off that it's a private business can operate however they want to operate, right? The problem I have with, and I agree, the problem I have with it is that most of these rules, these private businesses are being told they have to do by the government.
Right.
And so it's not the business making these decisions, it's the business trying to jump through the hoops that the government is forcing them to do.
I want to see a lawyer comb through their privacy agreement.
Yeah.
For Snapchat and see if that is in there. Because typically by default, I don't think communication services have the authority to do that. Right. Unless they explicitly state it. Like, by default, you're not supposed to be able to, like, disclose that kind of private information.
And not how many of us actually read the fine print.
Well, yeah, not only that,
that's what I'm saying.
The Supreme Court...
They can do whatever they want, because we're all just going to click the I agree button and keep using it because it's too
right, but if it's not in there... If it's not in there.
Even if it is in there, though, the Supreme Court has ruled in the past that it is not logical for every human to read through all of the user agreements. Yeah. And so, therefore, it has to be stated in a plain, obvious, easy to access read way. So it's like, so when you get one of those user agreements, it's like 400 pages long. It would have to be one of the like bold faces in order for, so legally, basically what they determined was you should be able to skim through it and get the gist of what you want to get. And if it is not presented in a way that is easy to read and understand, it is unreasonable for the average human, the average American to, and they went through and they figured out, I was like, if every American actually took the time to read at the average speed Americans can read, in a given year, it would take you 23 years to read all of the user agreements or something like that you've agreed to. Yeah. Every time, if you, including like when they make a change and you have to read through it and stuff like that. And so it's not, it is no longer reasonable for us to read through it because it would take more time to read through them than we can even get to them.
I'll be curious to hear if that ends up going to court, and that could be interesting.
With this next piece of current event and stuff, I don't know that it will. The UN just declared war on conspiracy theories. They specifically said, and they called out 3 specific conspiracy theories, okay? They said that specifically any conspiracy theory that has a link or is associated with George Soros, the Rothschilds, or Israel They are to be condemned, and all nations within the United Nations should begin adhering to these rules. That is anti-conspiracy theory rules, basically.
So basically, they just incidentally confirmed all of them.
Basically,
yeah.
And so this is the United Nations.
I love the line in Shooter when the FBI lady's talking to Michael Pena's character, and she's like called and asked some questions, and they could only confirm or deny, and they denied, which is a confirmation of sorts.
Right.
Like, basically, yes, but no.
Well, and I know
yes.
We went into the flock camera thing last week pretty heavy. It's getting to the point where even escaping the monitors is getting to the point where it's becoming more and more impossible.
Yeah.
It's like no matter where you go, somebody or something is watching and listening now. And now if AI is even running through and coming through our chats and stuff like that, what is AI not combing through? What do they not have? If AI is running and flagging flock cameras,
you can flog the flock cameras.
Flog the flock cameras.
Naughty camera.
Do I have it on here? There was I don't think I wrote it down. There was a flock camera that tagged a lady driving down the interstate as a murder wanted for that, and flagged the police, and then the police came and shut down the interstate. Like 50 patrol brought in SWAT, like it was a big deal. Oof. Arrested her, all this other stuff, just to find out that the AI was wrong and her tags are completely fine, and she's never been in trouble with the law ever before. And they arrested, they got to they detained her at the very least.
Apparently, there is a specific Rust-Oleum can that can clear
we're not
coat,
recommending you do this.
I'm not.
Don't do it.
I'm just giving out information.
You shouldn't do it.
This is a PSA.
David, don't do it.
Don't.
I have no intention of doing it.
Don't spray your license plate with whatever that Rust-Oleum number is, because then the cameras can't read it.
Read it because it reflects. We do not recommend that.
They make so many different kinds of reflective license plate cameras now.
Oh yeah. But
don't do it.
Well, also, it's if you're gonna get a cover, the border of it can't cover any part of the state, because then it's obstructed plate, and so then you can get stopped for that, and then that's a problem. So
yeah,
you can't get stopped for having a reflective spray.
All I'm saying is hearing about the local town hall. Did you happen to go to that?
No, absolutely not.
Hearing about the local town hall on the flock cameras, I have some concerns.
Shocker.
Anyway, continuing. I know we went into that a lot last week. We don't need to get back into that, but it is a thing, and it is happening, and and AI is proving more and more in its ineptitude to sense. There's nuances, and it starts to feel like 1984 a little bit, in that the words you say and how they say them now no longer matter. It is just the words you say, and the words you say can be used against you in the court of law.
Yeah.
And there was always nuance to it,
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not surprised at all about two of the parties in that mention from the UN, the conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a little bit surprised that Soros is on there.
Yeah.
We've been the right's been memeing for a long time about how bad he's bad. He's terrible. But to have him it's like getting your name thrown up there with Manson.
Yeah, for real.
And Sam, it's stuff like that. You're just like, whoa. You're that bad? You're that bad.
I still kind of have the opinion of, if their names are now known, they're not the big guy anymore.
That's fair.
I feel like they're the highest. They're the second. Mm-hmm. I feel like the ones who really are the ones who are controlling this have made it so that their names are not known.
Agreed.
That they're whatever.
Agreed.
But anyway.
But just having your name tied to that, it's kind of like a bad guy badge of honor.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Oh, I made it. I'm up there with Big H.
Yes, exactly. Okay, this one is totally random, but I came across this, and I did a deep dive into it really briefly. This is not the story. This is still, we'll call it a current event, even though it's not current. Okay. I think the term Stockholm Syndrome was completely made up and fabricated in order to cover up police negligence in a specific situation. Bank heist, 1973, Stockholm. There was a bank heist, and the robbers kidnapped 4 tellers and put them in the back room and were holding them hostage, okay? Over the loudspeakers, the police began getting more and more aggressive, threatening to gas the situation, threatening to escalate, and apparently from the information I found, were like getting more and more negligent with the lives of everybody in there, and just kind of like operating as though we're just going to take everybody out. The captives began getting afraid for their own lives and began to slowly side with the bank robbers, because the robbers were actually like trying to take care of the hostages, trying to get them food, keep them safe. They were moving them into deeper and deeper parts of the building in order to protect them from like police gunfire and snipers and stuff like that. And by the time the case ended, there was a therapist who coined the term Stockholm Syndrome, almost like a Stockholm Syndrome. He coined the term and went through and was doing all the news outlets and all that stuff based on the response of all this once it was finally concluded. Guess what? This psychologist never interviewed one of the victims, and he worked for the police force. So the guy who coined this term worked for the police department. Then, hold on. Then when it came time to testify against the bank robbers, all of the 4 victims refused to do it because they felt like the aggressor, not because they excused the bank robbers, and in their own words, not because that they were innocent, but because the police were escalating it so much to the point where we don't feel like in good conscience we can testify on behalf of the police. So,
in a strange new development, we have a brand new phenomenon where people who got caught in the middle between desperate thieves and really mean cops don't like the mean cops enough to help them put away the desperate thieves.
Basically.
We are calling this phenomenon Stockholm Syndrome.
And the wildest thing is that the tellers, they never once were just like, oh yeah, these guys are fine. You should just give them the money. You should let them escape. Nothing like that. It was just, I really don't like how the police handled this. Yeah. And I feel like they were in the wrong. And
these jackwagons seem to care about us more than you do. Literally. We're gonna help you.
So basically then the police department put their team psychologist, their psychiatrist, whatever he was, in order to basically gaslight these victims in order to hide the fact that they botched this bank robbery.
That's crazy.
Sounds about right, though, honestly.
So
it's just par for the course at this point.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But U.S. law enforcement is the worst.
I know.
I mean, there is like Uvalde and stuff like that, so like I can't blame everybody for disliking.
Right, right, and that's and it's
not saying everything here is perfect. I just people love to make it sound like every cop in the United States is terrible at their job and or corrupt and or just
that's the trope with pastors is that every pastor in America is abhorrently wealthy and doesn't care about their congregants. They're just trying to make money. When the reality is
watch the televangelist one time. I know what every pastor's like.
Less than 0.001% of pastors are even considered middle class.
Right.
Most pastors are considered lower to very, very low middle class.
Yeah.
And actually, I think is like statistically like it's like a quarter of all pastors have to work 2 jobs just to pastor.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and I don't have the statistics right in front of me, but it is alarming as somebody who now is in like I have to look at this stuff a little bit more than I used to, just to care for my pastors. Right. Like even within the state of Nebraska, it would surprise you how many of Assemblies of God pastors are bivocational, let alone. And bivocational is only you have a full-time job and then you pass, or like you have a job that like contributes significantly.
Right.
But even people who are full-time in ministry still have side jobs, side gigs, side things, side hobbies that they make even a little bit of money with just to help make ends meet, because it's just not a good paying job.
Right, because you have to. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We don't make a ton of money.
Very few pastors who aren't that way in general.
Yeah. And so it just forces you to be good with your money. But anyway, speaking of Stockholm Syndrome, I know Gifford has not, but have you been following the WNBA beef?
Oh, I totally have.
Yes?
Magnificent.
My gosh, this is so glorious.
Which one specifically,
dude?
or the whole thing?
All of it.
Okay, yes.
It has become, this is like a TV drama, dude. We're all pointing at each other.
I love it so much. I love it so much.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay. So let's get into some of the most recent stuff. So obviously the long going thing is the Angel Reese versus.
Can we just say
Caitlin
just
Clark.
Racism?
Yes, very much so. But we'll get into the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark drama.
The beginning.
Well, that whole thing that has been going on since they got drafted into the league, and all of that has been going on. But more recently, the WNBA themselves, their social media, they posted a video of Angel Reese taking money and betting on her own game. The WNBA posted this. So it's not... Okay.
Wasn't there a quarterback that just did that? And what happened to him
Pete
again?
Rose still isn't in the Hall of Fame because he did it in baseball. But... WNBA isn't a real sport, apparently, because guess what? Oh, it was all in good fun. No punishment. They quickly deleted the video as soon as people started commenting, like, hey, this is not...
it's incredibly unethical.
Yeah, it's
and you
really...
do that.
It's against your rules. But within the rules, it's up to the discretion of the WNBA to determine the punishment. So... Angel Reese gets away with gambling on her own games in WNBA and no punishment. The WNBA posted it, so it's like you can't go, oh, it's not a trusted source, or oh, no, the WNBA posted the video from their personal social media. Wild. Okay, so then Sophie Cunningham, who has become, if you don't know the WNBA beef, okay? So Caitlin Clark, she's been getting beat up hardcore. The refs are swallowing their whistles, and most people have began to see that it's possibly a race thing, but it also possibly could be like a straight thing, because so many of the other people in the WNBA are not straight. And so then insert Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham is like a black belt, and like she's like knows combat, and they basically bring her in on the Fever to protect Caitlin Clark.
She's a WNBA goon.
Yes, she's a boss,
she's
dude.
Straight up an enforcer.
So she comes in.
I love it,
dude. She comes in right off the bat, and one of the girls that had just slammed Clark, Cunningham slams her back, grabs her by the back of the head, and just repeats, "What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?" Like, boss, dude. This lady is insane. So then Sophie Cunningham wears a shirt that says, "Keep men out of women's sports." Right? Mm-hmm. Yep. The league then punishes her.
Yep.
One of the other head coaches of a different team that is getting ready to play the Fever wears a shirt talking about trans rights in women's sports. Okay? No punishment. Weird, right? How that happens. So then, okay, I looked up how to say it, and I can't. I'm sorry. Dijon A? Dijon A. It's spelled like Dijon mustard, and then AI at the end. So Dijon A. Carrington, hard fouls Cunningham to the point where her mouth is just bloody. Yeah.
Like flying armbar.
just
It was bad.
It was a bad foul.
It was egregious.
It was bad enough that I personally think she should have been suspended for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like multiple games.
Yeah, it was a flagrant one.
It was bad.
Bad.
So she gets ejected for it because, duh. Like, Sophie Cunningham's like, she's walking around like the Joker smiling at people because she knows her mouth is bloody. And she just owns it and is just like, anyway.
It was hot. She's a hockey.
It was a hockey
like
moment.
she
Yeah.
like
She
at heart
plays like a hockey enforcer.
at heart she
So then
Yes.
DeJohnette gets kicked out of the game for a flagrant 2. And then in the locker room, as she is literally walking, she gets to the locker
This
room.
was apparently
she
against
sits
league
down.
rules, by the way.
Oh, it is very against league rules. Sits down and writes white privilege and sends it out as a tweet. So it's white privilege as to why you got ejected and only got ejected and don't have to serve a 15-game suspension for your hard foul.
Meanwhile,
apparently.
Caitlin got her 8th tech of this season for getting thrown into a ref.
So then, so she's walking and she's fast walking. She's coming up on the ref and she puts her arm out to kind of like block herself from the ref. And as she's walking away, she just uses her arm to turn.
She
to
was
get
going
away
for a
from
layup,
her.
got yeeted basically, threw a quick little shovel pass out of there.
Protect
and
yourself.
as she got thrown out off of the court, she kind of arm checked the ref because the ref didn't move her stupid self out of the way.
And then gets a tech for it. And then, there's one where she got a tech for passing the ball to the ref. And there was a tech where she got a tech for. What was another one? She just gets texts just thrown at her all the time.
If she breathes in the wrong direction, she gets a text.
It's wild. And so, that is where we leave off.
No,
is there a new
not.
thing?
Have you seen the two guys?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yep, you're right. No, it is right here. I've just now realized I didn't actually share that. No. So then, yep, you're right. So then,
This is getting
2 retired NBA players decide that they want to challenge the WNBA stance on trans players in the game, and they declare for the WNBA and declare that they are female for the sake of playing basketball. They have declared themselves female, and it forced the WNBA to have emergency arbitration where they went in and had to define what a female is so that they could prevent ex-NBA players from playing as females in the WNBA.
The memeing on that was amazing. I saw a lot of Brian Scalabrine moments because people are like, they're not like good WNBA players. He's closer to LeBron than you are to him. Like that
Dude, wild.
People are like, bro, if they actually were to go, they'd be putting up Wilt numbers, like the legend.
Oh yeah,
number.
yeah. It would be unreal.
I can't remember the dude's name. The one dude's last name is Freedom. Anyway, they were like he would like show up at halftime and put up like a triple double, like record numbers. It'd be so insane.
Man.
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Did kind of shifting, just kind of so we can end current events. Did you guys see the Perez Hilton thing? Okay, don't look into it.
Okay.
So basically, TikTok allowed it, and my issue is that TikTok allowed it for 40 minutes, in which Perez Hilton. So apparently, Perez Hilton has recently begun finding Christ.
Okay.
And from what I can see from the video, again, seriously, don't go and look it up. It is not worth it. I will explain it to you. You get the gist of it. But basically, he went on TikTok Live and was self-cutting to the point where he's literally just covered in blood.
Oh.
And talking, and it looks, and from what I saw, basically, it looks like a demon took over. Like it's not a good picture. Yikes. TikTok allowed it to be live for 40 minutes.
Dude,
that's insane.
And some of the people who defend TikTok were saying, well, they just wanted to make sure emergency services arrived. I'm sorry.
No.
You, at the very least, because I know TikTok can do this, you can let him go live and not allow people into the room.
Yes.
They can do that. I know they can do that. I've seen them do that. I've been in a room that just all of a sudden gets shut off and the algorithm no longer favors it, and thousands of people instantly leave.
My biggest problem with it is inconsistency.
Yes.
Because they'll allow crap like that, but then they'll ban people for the dumbest crap.
I got a violation the other day.
For what?
For not being in the video. I was in the video, like I'm live, and it says you're not in the live. You got a violation. I had to appeal a violation, and they had to go and watch the video to prove that I was in the video.
That's insane.
I was in the video the whole time. Like, I didn't leave the video.
That's hilarious.
I also got in trouble for posting a still image as an advertisement.
The inconsistency is just indefensible.
Why?
I don't.
Apparently, that's a big deal. And like on my account, like it took me 2 weeks to even get back to the point where I could post my ads again. Because I make a little bit of money with ads on TikTok.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Because I posted a still image.
That's crazy.
Apparently that's against their rules. You can't have ads that are still images.
That's amazing.
It's wild.
I got one thing before we move on. For the science nerds, my mom was talking about thing that she was coming across, and she's apparently, I can't remember where it was, but there's some science dudes. I'll just put it that way. I don't know enough about the topic to like give titles or anything. Researchers, physicists, whatever. That were kind of proposing a different model regarding the makeup of atoms and explaining the possibility of electrons being a behavioral result of the nature of protons rather than their own entities, which would explain, because protons and electrons have the exact same amount of charge. Like they're equal but opposite. And there's never been apparently, like, you don't find electrons in the wild like not attached to an atom, like it's a part of it. And so, like, I don't know, it was pretty interesting, the implications. And I haven't looked into it enough. My mom just talked to me about this yesterday, but she's saying there's a lot of things about their model that makes a lot of sense and fixes some issues that science has had for a long time and just kind of pushed off to the side because it doesn't fit this model. And so we're just going to, whatever. It is what it is. But if that turns out to be the case, and I think there's a lot of research to go yet to like prove that that theory, that model holds weight. But if it does, that could seriously change the way that people look at the makeup of, of matter.
Yeah.
That's actually
that's
really
a big
that's
deal.
some insane implications if it's right.
Like, I'm remembering a lot of things from physics class at Mines, and that screws up a lot of those things.
Right, yeah. It changes a lot of things.
A big deal.
Even like fundamental basic physics, that screws up a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Massively.
does. Yes. So,
oh my.
Again, and like I said, there's, I think, a ways to go before that's ever accepted, and maybe it'll never be accepted just because of the fact that it screws up a lot of stuff. But like, I don't know, man. But there's problems with the current models and theories.
And I feel like that's one of the current issues with science, is that when new discoveries are made now that buck old discoveries, that instead of embracing it, it is ridiculed,
or
to
at
the
least
point
looking at it
where,
objectively.
Yeah, that at times it gets to the point where it's like, oh well, how can we now fit this into our current model, rather than going, this becomes the current model.
Right.
There's a lot of things like that I feel like. And so I hope
we can talk more about
I feel like science has always been really opposed to new things.
Yes.
Like that's
very much so.
The inherent nature of it.
Very much so.
That's not a new problem.
Since the 1880s.
Maybe earlier.
Well, 1880s. So in 1880s is when
you're outing yourself as to how long you haven't been listening.
Yeah. So the 1880s is when they coined the terms alien and coined the term dinosaur.
Right.
And that was also the point in time in which they began mass producing insane asylums and began throwing people in insane asylums for disagreeing.
It was also when the Tartaria maps disappeared.
Yeah, for disagreeing with current healthcare and science and stuff like that. If you disagreed with the current model,
Was that also when
insane asylum.
Rothschilds took over the medical industry? Was that when that happened? It was about.
It was
that
right
time,
about the same time. If it wasn't, yeah.
Basically, modern history as we know it and have been taught in school started in the 1880s.
Began.
That was when like the entire world model became. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Shut up and listen.
Current maps, current like everything,
Science.
everything
Well,
is
if
the
you go back
1880s.
far enough in science, there was a point in time that people were being persecuted for suggesting the Earth was a sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a point in time they were throwing people out for suggesting that the universe didn't revolve around the Earth. Like,
Right.
It always rejects the new.
The 1880s is when they basically came up with this is what all of it is. This is truth. You don't get to argue it. This is fact. This is history. This is all like it became
Without evidence.
Yeah, it became.
They didn't have the evidence yet, and they just decided it, and were like, we're running with this.
This is what's accepted by universally. That was the decade when like we've run into a bunch of stuff where it's like, when did this change?
And the
The
people,
1880s.
the people who determined what truth was weren't necessarily experts in those fields. They were the wealthy people. And so during the 1880s was a major point where wealth had shifted a little bit, and the wealthy people began pushing the narrative rather than the experts. Experts were then discredited, and
New
they began
experts were
looking up.
assigned.
Yes, new experts were assigned rather than
Discovered or
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
So it's a running thing. We need to do, we're
Wild.
going to do an episode at some point on all of the stuff that
Yeah.
happened in the 1880s. But
absolutely. And
it's just kind of weird how it keeps coming up.
it does. It is.
It's come up organically like 15 times.
I wanna
a
go-
bunch of different episodes.
I want to go back to some of our old topics before we had found this. And when we do our 1880
Yes.
episode and just go through all of our old topics and find how they connect to the
Yep.
1880s. Because
Agreed.
it seems like 9 out of 10 of our current topics have something we discover from the 1880s that occurred. It's wild how much it overlaps with everything that we've been discovering. Ironically, this is not one that connects to the 1880s. But and I apologize to our listeners. I did pre-warn you. This was going to be a heavy current event, and I even when I invited you on the show, I was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about current events most of the episode." But I do want to get to at least one of the ranches. And so then next week we'll do Stardust Ranch this week. Next week we'll do Bradshaw, because I feel like Bradshaw Ranch is a bigger deal.
Okay.
And more
Deserves more
comprehensive.
time.
Yes.
Okay.
Stardust Ranch, on the other hand, I feel like it deserves less time. Do you know anything about the Stardust Ranch?
Nope.
Do you know anything about the Stardust Ranch?
I did a little Bradshaw research this morning because I was banking on that. So nope.
Dang it. Of course you did.
Apologies.
Of course you did, Phil.
Sorry, it was late night. Really late night.
I'm just joking. I
don't care.
Stardust Ranch. So this one is also known as the Alien Ranch. Okay. This one is an
A little
enigma.
on the nose, ain't it?
Yes. This ranch is kind of an enigma in that of the ranches, so you've got Skinwalker Ranch, you've got Blind Frog Ranch, you've got Bradshaw Ranch, and you've got Stardust Ranch. Of the ranches, this is the one that I feel like is the hardest for me to buy in fully on,
Okay.
in the sense that when I'm listening to it, I feel like I'm listening, and I'm like, even listening to the guy who owned the ranch, listening to him talk about it. He was on an episode of The Confessionals, and part of me judges The Confessionals for even having him on the show. Like it's that weird, but at the same time, we're talking about it, and so I give credit to The Confessionals because they're just seeking truth, not
Right.
necessarily trying to decide what is
Right.
true. So it's a 10-acre ranch, which was eventually later subdivided, property that was west of Phoenix. It was apparently known in UFO paranormal circles for a long time. because of the former owners, John Edmonds and his wife, Joyce. So they reportedly had bought it in the late 90s, early 2000s era, and they intended it as being a horse rescue facility, and that's what they built it as. Immediately, right off the bat, this is the weirdest part to me of the whole story, that I go, okay, this seems valid, and it seems like you've ran with this and just like made it your whole narrative. But again, on this show, I don't try to tell you what to think, so I'm just going to give you the information. So John and Joyce, they purchased this ranch, and when they first walk into the building, all of the previous owner's stuff is still inside. So they're like, what the, like, it just looked like they picked up and left. So they call the estate, agency that was running the sale, and they were like, hey, was this supposed to be this way? Like, we're trying to move our stuff in. And the real estate agency was like, oh no, they were supposed to take their stuff. So the real estate agency tries to call them, and they were like, oh, we didn't know we were supposed to take our stuff. Like, we don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. So this is okay. So then they give them 24 hours to go get their stuff, and John and Joyce come back to the house, and they walk into the house and everything's gone. So like, cool. And then they're kind of looking around, and they go into the backyard, and everything from in the house was just thrown into the pool. And they were like, okay, that's petty. So they call the real estate agent, and they're like, assuming in a fit of rage, they were like, hey, fine, you're supposed to go. Yeah. And the real estate agency goes, okay, so the previous owners, they came back to get their stuff, and they saw it all in the pool, and they just assumed you threw it in there in a fit of rage.
Oh.
And he was like, okay, well, that's weird. Could you guys come get it? Like, what? I don't know what you want me to do with all this stuff in the pool. And the previous owners refused to come back onto the property to get the stuff a third time, because they had already planned on like abandoning it. And then they come back to go get it, and it's all in the pool. And they're like, I'm not digging it out of the pool. This is your mess now. So they abandon the property. Okay.
I smell bullcrap.
Yeah.
And that's just where I'm at with that one.
I don't disagree. But then a couple days goes by, and nothing significant happens. They move in, and then this guy shows up on the property, and he to get the story straight, I can't remember exactly how it goes down, but basically the effect of like, he comes in and is like, hey, like, I'm expecting my pay, blah, 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 kind of thing. And they're like, who are you? And he's like, oh, you don't know who I am? And they were like, no, dude, like, we just purchased this place. And they were like, get off of our property. This is our property now. And the guy goes, no, I'm the one who hunts the monsters here. And they were like, no, like, you're not doing that for us. You're good. Like, you can leave. And the guy says, you're going to regret that. And then just disappears. And they never could figure out who this guy was, apparently. So shortly after this guy disappears, they begin experiencing weird things on the ranch. Things that start happening, like he's got horses. Bless you. Bless you.
always three.
But so they begin to see like UFOs and bright black triangles and weird lights. And then eventually the dogs start going crazy and don't want to leave the house and all this other stuff. And then eventually they start finding horses and dog animal mutilations that are kind of along the same lines as cattle mutilations. There's images of some of the horse mutilations, and to credit, that might be the one thing that I feel like, oh, this actually holds some weight, because he's got images of it and actually began to investigate it. from other claims of this ranch, like he began claiming that just strange bruises would begin showing up on him and his wife. And then missing time, where like an entire day went by and he'd wake up and it's like the wrong day. Then all of this is kind of going on, and it seems like things are ramping up on the property, okay? And then all of a sudden, one day, apparently he wakes up to an attempted abduction in which his wife is being levitated out of the bed and carried outside, drawn into a craft with a light source that is drawing her out of the house, okay? So apparently he intervenes, and when he intervenes, then a creature like half teleports into the house. And
how do you half teleport?
Okay.
What do you mean?
So this is the fun part, okay?
Elaborate.
And to the people who know this story really well, they're probably like, bro, you're telling it out of order. I am totally telling it out of order, but I'm giving you the gist of like what events happen. Okay. So he claims that there's 2 interdimensional ports on the property. One is outdoors and one is in the living room next to the fireplace. What they would do is they would almost like teleport in, not fully, and scope the place out and decide if they wanted to fully teleport. So it's almost like they had like a hologram. They would show up, begin scoping the place out in like a I don't know how I would explain it versus how he explains it. Almost like they showed up in like a spiritual sense,
like
an astral projection kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if they deemed it safe, then they would fully apparate in that spot and be physically there. The reason he knows that they weren't physically there was because he began to attack these guys. First with firearms, then with a metal baseball bat. And he determined that the metal baseball bat must have been a better option. And so then eventually he bought a metal sword to carry around. That the guns didn't seem to do as much damage as the sword did.
Buy another sword.
And apparently, kind of flashback, this monster hunter that showed up apparently was carrying a machete. So then he then thinks back, oh, that's why he was carrying the machete. So he begins to carry around a sword, and when they were in their astral phase part, he couldn't do damage to them. But when they fully apparated, he could. He claims that he has killed between 18 to 20 of these beings primarily with a samurai sword that he kept above the fireplace.
That's so valid.
Okay, so...
Alien Ninja.
All right.
Let's go.
So this is where the story starts to actually get a little interesting. Yes. Just now is when it gets interesting.
I see.
So when he would attack them with the sword, if he cut off an arm or something like that, they would instantly disapparate back into their ship or whatever, and the body parts would go with. Okay. So he claimed that the only way in which you could get them their full body was if you were able to successfully disconnect the entire head from the body in one shot. Otherwise, they would disapparate back into the ship. Okay. Apparently, most of the bodies disapparated. The ones that didn't were weird. Okay. One day, on March 13th, he managed to cut into one of them. Their body disapparated, but he noticed for some reason this time, the tissue that he had cut off that was connected to the sword stayed there. So he collected the sample, and he sent this sample in to a doctor. Let me find it up. Dr. Levengood. Dr. Levengood, this guy, I can confirm, Dr. Levengood is a legit doctor. He was a legit person. This isn't like a fabricated story. Dr. Levengood was real.
Okay.
So Dr. Levengood, he analyzed the sample that was sent to him from Edmonds, and he determined that it was comprised of pure hemoglobin, and it was similar to samples that have been taken at cattle mutilation sites. And it seems like the tissue, so that was the blood, the tissue looks like a animal-plant hybrid, unlike anything that we have on Earth today. Okay?
Interesting.
So Edmonds begins to collaborate with Dr. Levengood. And then one day Dr. Levengood just stops corresponding with him. Even though Dr. Levengood had been working with cattle mutilation cases and stuff like that, he just all of a sudden just stops corresponding with him. Cold turkey one day, just quits communicating.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
And refused to continue his research on the tissue samples and all of that. Then it goes to say that the source that I found, at least, now here's the hard part. And this is common, right, with these kind of things, and this is the part that gets me frustrated. This seems to be commonplace with weird situations like this. The common story is that Dr. Levengood died in a lab accident. Just one day, just randomly died in a lab accident. And that when they began to clean out his lab, all of the samples that he allegedly had from all of these people with cattle mutilations and with the source from Edmonds were not there and were either missing or just were not there. So all of the samples, all of the evidence was gone. Sorry. That seems to be the common thread. Like, that's the common stance. Mm-hmm. Some people claim that Dr. Levengood committed self-unaliving, which, of course. Some people claim that he died of cancer. Some people claim... I couldn't find a sole trusted, I could find tons of sources that had different stories. I couldn't find one story that seemed to be the truth. Does that make sense?
No official cause of death, and
I could find different official causes. Yeah.
Port.
Interesting.
But again, with those, even the official sometimes isn't official.
Right.
Like with our good friend that was partially paralyzed and self-unalived himself with that guy. You know what we're talking about with the Dulce base.
Yep.
Okay. So that said, that seems to be the part of the story that I feel like has some true, my brain goes, what? At least I will say that with that part of it.
Right.
Everything else, if I'm being honest, what it feels like to me is that everything else kind of feels like we're going to take advantage of what's going on at Skinwalker Ranch and try to make money off of selling books and stories and interviews on this in order to. Now, one thing I can say that holds true was that this guy genuinely had a horse rehab facility in which he was rehabilitating horses, and that was his passion. Because in spite of everything else going on, that still held true on their property. He never got rid of the horses. And in fact, eventually they worked towards moving to New York and getting off of that property and still doing the horse rehab. So it does seem like that's kind of that was his passion. So if it is fabricated, it was done so in order to produce a revenue for that project. If it wasn't fabricated, the story was used to sell so that he could do animal rehab. Does that make sense? So one way or the other, he profited off of the story one way or the other, but he didn't use it just to become wealthy. He used it to continue his horse rehab project that he had. So in some way, shape, or form, no matter what happened, whether it was legit or completely fabricated, at the very least, this story is a fun one because it wasn't just somebody trying to get rich. It wasn't somebody trying to become famous. It wasn't somebody, and in fact, his wife Joyce completely refuses to engage with any of the material because she just wants to focus on the things going on in their life outside of these stories. And it did kind of seem like Joyce and him had major disagreements as to how open they wanted to be about this story. Because at one point they began to fight about it because another reason why he didn't use guns, allegedly, was because she was afraid of getting hit in the crossfire. And so she required him to use the baseball bat and eventually the swords because she was afraid of getting hit in the crossfire because they were trying to abduct her. So then if he starts shooting at him, easy to hit her. So then she decides, well, if you're going to be fighting these things, I'm going to go sleep in a different room. And these aliens still continued to go to their normal room. And again, I'm not saying what to believe. I'm just telling you the information they gave.
I'm just picturing like nightly alien gladiator matches in the living room. Like, if you're gonna have an alien fight club, I'm sleeping downstairs.
For real though,
I'm gonna fight club.
Yeah.
Dang it, Joyce. Rule number 1: you don't talk about alien fight club.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Except he was the one talking about it. She don't want to talk about it.
Literally, and she's like, I'm not engaging in this. But allegedly, the fight, because he insisted on fighting these things, she just wanted to leave, apparently. And that caused some disagreements with them, and they began sleeping in different rooms, but the aliens continued to go to his room, apparently. So, all of that's going on. There's a lot of visits from Men in Black figures who allegedly warned him to stop publicizing the UFO reports. There's other like documented phenomena that have occurred on the ranch of high frequency buzzing sounds that just kind of appear and disappear. He claims that they are they're interdimensional, like moving, like when they're coming in and they're getting ready to like transport, that buzzing sounds will show up first as like them investigating the area to see if it's safe. That's his theory as to what it is. Apparently there's big temperature drops that occur, that kind of thing. He says there's a lot of like poltergeist like activity, things moving without anything seeing.
Like all the furniture getting thrown into a pool. I still don't buy that part.
And that the land is it holds an unusual energy. He shared pictures on social media of the sword with the matter on it.
Yeah,
he has pictures of it.
I know it's weird for me to like balk more at furniture being tossed into a pool than like alien gladiator fights in the living room. But like just from the law enforcement perspective, I just know how people are. And the previous owners totally just didn't want to move all the furniture into another place or like take it to a dump. So absolutely. They just yeeted it into a pool. That's 100% what happened. That is the least believable part of this whole story is that aliens did that.
It was 100% the last owner.
It was not 100%.
100%.
I know.
As someone who has moved multiple times, the urge to just leave the furniture.
Oh, for sure. I get that. And they were just jerks about it. Like, I'm not moving it. Just pool. We're just going to be buttholes. That's what we're going to do.
My question is, was there water in the pool?
I don't.
So if the pool was drained, then throw it in. It's storage, whatever. Who cares?
I don't remember which one. I don't remember for sure if there was
water in the pool. Then
I know how stupid it sounds for that to be the part that I'm just like, nah, that wasn't alien.
That part's not. Right off the bat, that's I'm like. Okay, so then in 20, I think he wrote a book on it called Stardust Ranch: The Incredible Story. But then in 2016, the Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures went and did season 12, episode 12, aired on July 30th, 2016. The Ghost Adventures team went to investigate the property. Ghost Adventures, do you know which one Ghost Adventures is? That's one with Zach Bagans.
I'm going to be honest. The only thing I can picture anytime you bring up like professional ghost hunter people is the one from Supernatural, the Ghost Facers. That's the only thing I can see when I try to picture any of this.
Ghost Adventures has gained some notoriety for like, if they're not faking stuff, they're being very disingenuous with what they're finding. And like, it's pure entertainment and not like, because I feel like ghost hunters, when they at least first started, their intention was to debunk each episode. And then eventually as the show went on, it seemed like they found more and more and more stuff, and it became more and more about the evidence and less about debunking. Ghost Adventures started day one of the tiniest, most dumb evidence becomes big deal kind of thing. So Ghost Adventures goes in, and Ghost Adventures, they found in their research, and again, you can take it or leave it, whether you give them credibility or not, that's up to you. But they did find, they have, and this is all documented on their cameras and stuff, a shadow figure. They found orbs in the sky that were like light UFO activity. They found an EVP that it sounded like it said, "Look at the stars." They got a bunch of spirit box responses, which said like, "Come back," things like that. They found a weird mist anomaly that would appear in front of Aaron, and it would just kind of appear, and supposedly he got chills whenever it would appear on camera. They found a weird light on one of the cameras. They kept getting physical sensations. Aaron kept saying that it felt like somebody was trying to run up behind him. One of the investigators felt like when they were laying on the bed that their arm went numb. And they did have several bruises that showed up that were visible on camera that showed up after they were there on the place. And Zach claimed that he felt strongly affected while he was near the sword that they used against the Greys. And when he went to pick it up, and apparently the crew were alarmed that the way he was acting when he was in that area.
I'm sorry, if you don't have video of an actual like death match,
I know,
with
right?
an alien,
bro,
I don't care.
Why would you not put a camera in your
The
living room
biggest
at that point?
criticism has been at the first alien I kill. I'm cameraing up the entire play. I'm getting this on camera.
I'm gonna have a Kimbo
Day
Slice
one.
style like fight documentary, like running the whole time. Like
100%.
I'm gonna have an announcer
on a TikTok live of that,
dude.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly, and that's my biggest criticism.
Was this that they moved it? What year did they?
They were in like the 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, and then they moved off of the property in 2017.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, if you can afford a horse rescue.
That's what
in the
I'm
late
saying.
90s, early
That's what I'm
2000s,
saying. You can afford a camera. Yes.
Well, yeah, in 2016, when you
Absolutely.
publish a book, at the very least, use the book sales to buy some cameras. After killing 20 of them, there's got to be a common area. Where is the most common spot that you killed them? Camera it up like crazy. That's what you gotta do.
And honestly, even if it proves you're crazy, at least we'll get fun video of like you just shadow sword fighting in your living room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
And you
come
can
on,
get some
brother.
help. You know, get some,
hire some
help.
mercenaries, get some
Right?
PMCs in there.
So,
Set up some security, brother.
for real though. So the Ghost Hunters was there in 2016. And then in 2017, Edmonds put the estate on the market for $5 million, openly disclosing the history, stating that he was just tired of the ongoing encounters. And
That would have been a heck of a Zillow ad.
Yeah, right. And then they moved to upstate New York, I believe, and still did the horse stuff. So it was very clear that, like I said, that was very clear that was one of their passions at the very least. But then John Edmonds died in 2022. The property had never fully sold, and then it went into foreclosure. And in April 2023, it was purchased at auction for $680,000. The owners who purchased it were reportedly unaware of the full paranormal history at the time of purchase. They performed extensive renovations, gutted the main house, spent like $350,000, rebuilt the main house, subdivided the acreage into smaller plots, and there's now the main 5.4 acre parcel, and then relisted the primary Stardust Ranch for $1.3 million. So now there are multiple places, multiple houses on this 10 acre property, and currently no current owner has come forward with experiences. That is the Stardust Ranch.
That kind of eliminates a lot of credibility there.
But it has only been a couple years. Also, I will say this, as somebody who has had a lot of weird experiences in my life, talking about weird experiences is not something you just like, I'm going to go on a show and talk about all this weird stuff that might make me sound crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
So because it has only been 3 years since they've subdivided it, maybe 2 years worth of people living on the property pretty consistently, that's not a ton of time. And who knows, maybe by them remodeling it and relisting it stuff, again, I'm just trying to give credit where credit, like just giving a little bit of credit. Yeah, benefit of the doubt. That maybe the only the main house is where the alien stuff happens. And if only the main house is where the stuff happens, you know, who knows how long it would be. Because it talks about how, like, they didn't notice the stuff was going on for years until they started noticing, oh, we're missing time, oh, this. And then the cattle mutilation or the horse mutilation happened. And then they're like, oh, something's going on. The two things of credibility that I find curious is the sample that was sent to a real doctor who did a real investigation into it. He was like, yes, this actually matches other cattle mutilations and the horse mutilation. Because I think that we've established pretty consistently on this show that cattle mutilations are a real thing.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's our government doing it, whether it's demons doing it, whether if you believe aliens are doing it, something is mutilating cows for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Personally, my personal opinion is I think it's our government doing it in order to establish that aliens are real, and they're trying to create this narrative that aliens are real in order to get the people to buy into that, because it's easier to explain weird spacecraft, weird events, if they're engaging with demons, it's easier to explain it as it being an alien than that it's a demon. Yeah. You know, and so there's a lot of things that they can cover up by saying alien. And so I think that cattle mutilation, stuff like that are, and so, but my question would be, so why mutilate the horses?
Yeah.
What's the purpose of the horse mutilations? Yeah. And the fact that the sample matched cattle mutilation samples taken elsewhere, it's weird. I will give that 100% credit.
Yeah.
Everything else sounds so out there. Like, dude is hunting aliens with a katana, like, and doesn't think, hey, I've had a phone that had a camera on it since 2010.
Yeah.
There was 6 years in there. You could have recorded yourself taking one of these guys out before he
put it on World Star. You'll have enough money for all the horse rescuing you want to do for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, and what are the odds that we haven't heard anything about the main house because it got bought out by an investment firm and nobody's living there now?
Yeah. Apparently the guy who purchased the Skinwalker Ranch and has turned the TV show and all that, like the guy that currently owns it, apparently he had talked to Stardust Ranch and potentially was wanting to buy Stardust Ranch and began the process of purchasing the estate, and then one day just was no longer involved in it, walked away, and they got into an argument, and he no longer was interested in purchasing Stardust Ranch. That makes me wonder, okay, what caused somebody who was willing to do what he's done with Skinwalker Ranch to just all of a sudden be like, nope, not worth investigating anymore. And subsequently did not purchase it from them, even from the estate when it was only sold for however much. What was it? He didn't go back and buy it when it sold for $680,000.
Counter theory. Maybe this is, I don't believe this. Maybe Skinwalker Ranch is fake. And when he went to buy Stardust Ranch, he was like, "Oh, this is for real. I don't want to touch this."
Yeah, I can see
That's fair. That's fair.
Honestly,
That's fair.
if it was real,
I'm just in this for the clicks. I don't want to fight aliens.
I'm out.
I
I'm for viewership and money. I'm not trying to fight.
I am not the alien warrior. I'm not doing this.
He goes to stay. He goes to stay at the house and witnesses homeboy cut off a head of an alien with a katana, and he's like, "Nope, I'm out.
Yep.
This is too intense for me.
Shut up. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm out. I'm leaving.
This ain't it. Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
I thought this was fake.
I thought we were all in agreement. This is all fake. You actually have aliens here. Yeah. Yeah. Of the
Thought we were filming a Scooby-Doo episode. What do you mean this is real? I didn't sign up for this.
Of all of the ranches, I do feel like this is the one that I do buy into the least.
Yeah.
I feel like the big moment was the furniture, and I feel like that can easily be explained by a disgruntled family that was like, no, they bought this house with the furniture.
That's not
I
even
sold
like
it with that. I'm just throwing it into the pool.
That's not even like the top 10% craziest like homeowner transaction things I've heard. Like that's not even that weird.
So counter theory though, whether it was that family or not, why were they in such a big hurry to get out to the point where they were willing to leave all of their stuff too? Makes you wonder if maybe they did have
place that already had furniture. Somebody else didn't want to move.
Here's the thing: what if the horse mutilation was a real thing? And there was enough there to actually spook the previous owners. But so then this guy buys it and there is weird stuff happening. And he goes, okay, there's weird stuff happening. Just a theory. There's weird stuff happening, but not enough to like monetize on it.
Uh-huh.
What if I embellish it a little bit, start telling stories about grays showing up on the property?
Sure.
And what if the event with the monster hunter was real? You know, that dude actually was a real person who was just crazy, and he did have this experience. He's like, we could sell that.
Right.
And then just began to embellish things to the point where it was no longer realistic.
There's room for truth in this, I feel like. Like, there's room for all of this to be true. I just don't believe that at least the vast majority is true. But there's room for truth in this.
And the two things that I will say 100% that I can't easily explain. The things, because the furniture, you can easily explain that. Even the feelings of abduction, the alien stuff, like you can explain that easily. Just somebody going running wild with it, or fake schizophrenia. Like there's a lot of different things it could be.
Mm-hmm.
The two things that I do have the biggest thing, or I'm like, I can't explain this, is the horse mutilations, because there's photo evidence of it, and then the sample.
Yeah. What
was that sample? At the very least, this guy had collected, whether maybe he knew what he was doing, and he collected a weird plant sample that just happened to be a weird plant that he had never seen before. Who knows? I don't know. But the sample is weird to me, and then the horse mutilations is weird.
Wait. Okay, so in the timeline, was the mutilation before? That was before the living room fights, right? That was before the fights.
I believe so.
So it could have been a sample from the mutilation. Possibly. Potentially.
Yeah. Possibly. Let me look up a
Example
timeline.
was from the sword, though.
Well, just because he said it doesn't mean it was.
True.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking of other possibilities.
One other thing that I did notice that does not exist with any of the other properties is that Stardust Ranch, anytime he was the sole source of information, and anytime he did a podcast or a video appearance, he ensured that the information he shared was copywritten. And so you can't easily get write-ups, and even like trying to, like right now, I just asked AI to give me a timeline of the events that took place at Stardust Ranch. It is taking a really long time to find it because it has to find sources that aren't copywritten to share it with me. And it seems to have a problem coming up with those sources. So that's actually part of the reason why I did apologize even originally. And I should have maybe even stated this originally, but part of the reason why is so difficult for me to even just like have like a congruent story with this one was because I had to go and listen to the podcasts. I couldn't look up transcriptions or anything like that because they wouldn't allow them. And so I actually had to take the time to listen to and watch these videos and these write-ups of it. And so basically everything we have that's not copywritten is from somebody who heard the stories, just like we're sharing right now, who heard the stories from him or read his book and then retell them.
Right.
And so all the transcriptions I could get were all just people retelling it just like we are. And obviously they've got their own sets of criticism, their own sets of beliefs. Some people bought into it full. Some people were discrediting the whole thing. I feel like a lot of times the truth is usually somewhere in the middle. I think there's sometimes people experience weird things and then it becomes magnified within their own heads. I think sometimes people experience things and they begin looking for things. And so then they find more things.
Yes.
But right now, like ChatGPT is still searching. I sent that 2 minutes ago and it still has not answered me. Still searching the web. It has internet. We're good. Everything else is working because it has to find sources that are not copywritten. That is a red flag to me.
Yeah.
Because that tells me every time he shared, he profited off of it. Because otherwise, what would be the big push to copyright every source of information coming from it? And even when he was on the confessionals and they were interviewing, because I listened to that whole thing, the interviewer, the host of the confessionals, he would ask him a question and his answer would be something along the lines of like, oh, I've got a book coming out and I don't want to share too much from the story because it'll be in the book. And so it seemed like everything was just a teaser to try to get people to buy his book. I'm not going to read his book. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to read his book. So I can't find this information out firsthand. I have to get it secondhand. In order to get it secondhand, I have to get it thirdhand because I can't just find it from a random podcast transcription.
Right.
Because it's so much easier for me to skim through a transcription. So a lot of times if a source of information, just give people insight into the podcast a little bit. When I'm doing research, I don't want to spend 6 hours listening to the same interview 6 times.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 6 hours listening to 6 different interviews that all share the same information. Instead, what I do is if one of the main sources is a podcast of an expert talking on it, I get the transcription from that podcast, I skim through it, and then I find the important pieces, and I extract the important pieces and put them in my notes. And then I go to the next one. Is there anything different in this? Put it in my notes. And I can do that multiple different I can skim through an entire podcast in 10 minutes rather than listening to it over an hour period. Because like think about like this podcast. How much of this podcast did we talk about Stardust Ranch? If I were to listen to the podcast, I would have to sit there and find where it even began.
Right. Yeah.
Then I'm now spending 40 minutes listening to the actual podcast. Then I'm listening to 10 minutes of them explain what they already shared. And so, but yeah, the transcriptions, it's ChatGPT still hasn't found anything on it, or still hasn't come up with an answer. I've never seen AI take this long. I'm going to see if maybe Grok will get it faster. We shall see. Yeah, and I know the internet's working because everything is popping up quick. Grok seems to push the lines of legal a little more than ChatGPT does. Same problem on ChatGPT. This is going to take some time.
Cool.
Interesting.
So
we can update on the Patreon if it.
Yep. If it sends.
It out.
And all I'm asking for is just a timeline of the events. But it has to sift through non-copywritten material because it can't just share with me copywritten material. It has to find an extra source just like we were looking for. But anyway, that is Stardust Ranch. Let us know in the comments what you guys believe. Also, we didn't do our shout-outs or our
sponsor stuff. Yeah.
I'll just leave. I won't count this as an episode because it's at the very end. But one thing I will push real hard is patreon.com/BA Bigfoot. You do get an extra episode. You get early commercial-free releases of the episodes. It is worth the $5 a month. $10 a month helps us that much more. You get priority on episode suggestions, as well as you will get first access to loot drops when we post stuff for merch for sale. $10 subscribers will get first dibs at merch. So join the Patreon, join the Discord, and man, shout out to David again. You want to reshare your information so that people can follow you, and if they want some
David Gifford
tips.
7 on TikTok, or just search David Gifford on Instagram. There's not that many powerlifters named David Gifford, so
it's true.
You're the only David Gifford I know.
Same.
There's quite a few out there, but most of them are
but I don't
not
know
nearly
them,
as
so
interesting.
they don't matter.
Well, all right, with that, thank you guys so much, and we love you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet he the maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?